Final Fantasy IX is being adapted into a kids animated series. I didn't read this one.
Yeah, I don't.
Sounds.
It's like, why Final Fantasy IX?
Because it's kind of the most.
Yeah.
The storyline is kind of it really would work as an animated series for kids.
I'm thinking, I don't know what it'll be like. I don't think it'll be. It's hard to say if it'll be based off the story. I don't think it'll be story. I think it'll be characters in. They're just gonna base them in the world basically with these characters. I don't know. I'm sure some executive was like, "Look at that Moogle. That guy's cute." And that Quina one. Ooh, look at that. That's kind of cute too. And then like, oh, Zidane, he's kind of like got a tail. That's cool. And the Black Mage Vivi. Oh yeah, that's kind of cool too. Yeah, we could make this into a kids show. So, if it ends up on Netflix or something, I'll watch an episode to see what it's all about. But I'm sure I won't like it.
I think I will too.
It's for kids, so. Yeah.
I wonder if it's going to be CGI as well.
I would think it would have to be CGI. I mean, the company that does it does CGI shows. Yeah. So, and also this thing too, who knows? Like, could this company just have said like, yeah, we want to make a show out of Final Fantasy IX? Like, there's nothing going on with Square Enix at all. Like, could you choose a more weird Final Fantasy to make a show out of?
What I'm remembering from the storyline from like the beginning of the game.
Yeah.
It seems like it would adapt pretty well. But then the end of the game, like,
I've never beat it, so I never made it to the end. But, I mean, the story is typical JRPG fare.
Yeah.
Like, i.e. not too good. But, yeah, I think especially Final Fantasy IX, it was definitely, like, simplified compared to the other ones.
Yeah.
Like, can you tell me what was going on in Final Fantasy 8 or 7?
No, because I didn't play them all the way through.
Okay, but if you did, you wouldn't be able to. Be like, this is a dream of a past that Adia had, and what is going on? Like,
I think in 9, especially with like the whole princess and Steiner being the slapstick and all that.
Yeah,
I think
true.
It would work pretty good.
Yeah, true. Yeah, that's like the only, like, sort of classic Final Fantasy I never beat.
Really?
I got it on the Xbox. I need to do it.
One of the only ones I've beat.
Yeah, like I did all the other ones that came out in English. I beat them all.
Garnet.
Yeah, Garnet. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I really like this one, so I beat it. Played it all the way through.
It's fine. It just got, I don't know. It kind of went back to the classic gameplay.
Yeah, that's probably why I liked it so much.
Yeah. Whereas they had like the draw system in Final Fantasy VIII and the materia system in Final Fantasy VII. But I mean, Final Fantasy IX had the item skill system, which is almost like the materia system because you have to like level up the whatevers to do it. I do need to beat it. I did buy the remaster on Xbox, which looks great.
Yeah.
Well, the backgrounds don't, but everything else
are still 480i pixelated mess.
Yeah, basically. Everything else looks good, like the models and everything. Well, you can see this picture where you can't see it, listeners, but the models look great.
Oh, yeah, that is the remake, isn't it?
Yeah, that is the remake.
That looks great and also terrible.
Yeah, exactly. The models look great and everything, but the backgrounds are just like, they smeared Vaseline on the monitor to make it look blurry.
I think I'm trying to think of if I beat 10 before I beat 9. And I think
10's great. 10's great.
Oh, yeah, I love 10.
Final Fantasy is totally like, from like the Final Fantasy 7 on, Final Fantasy has been to me where I'll start playing it and be like, fuck, this sucks. And then I'll revisit it like a year or two later and be like, oh, okay, I get it now. Yeah. It doesn't suck.
Yeah.
So I think I just really need to buckle down and play Final Fantasy 9.
I think 9 might be my favorite.
Yeah.
9, 10, and then 6.
I think my favorite story-wise is probably 6, just because it was like, well...
6 was an epic.
Yeah, and it was also like, how old was I when 6 came out? Like
yeah, exactly.
13, 14 or whatever. Like,
I mean, we can all just hear Kafka laughing in our heads the entire time.
Or like the opera scene where she's singing and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Going the first time to the Dark World and having to catch fish for Sid. And if you catch enough good ones, he lives. And if you feed him like rotten fish, he dies. But like for system-wise, I don't know, man. It's hard to say. 12 or 10 probably.
Yeah?
Yeah. 10, I just really like the sphere grid level up system.
Oh, yeah, me too.
And then in 12, the license board. I don't know. You never played 12, probably.
Played 12, no.
It's like a offline MMO, basically.
Yeah.
You just all your party members are AI, but you sort of it's kind of like Carnage Heart actually, where
Oh.
you design the flow chart of how people fight in a battle, and it'll be like if there's a character that has less than 50 hit points, you cast Cure on them. But if that variable doesn't happen, it moves down to the list and be like, okay, attack the enemy with the most hit points. And if that, it keeps going down the list, so you can sort of customize your guys. Yeah, it's really cool. It's really cool. And you can do that for all the characters, except you control one character, and you can say what you want to do with that one character. But if you switch to another character, they'll have their own AI thing that you set up.
Yeah.
And as you go through the game, you unlock different variables. At first, there's very few variables, but eventually it'll be like, I want to cast heal when they have less than 90 hit points, or I want to cast it when they have less than 10% or whatever. So it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool.
I can get into that for sure.
Yeah. You should check it out. It's on Game Pass.
Ooh.
Very good.
Oh, just need to find
more
hours. More hours in the day.
I know.
Somebody extend our day to like 36 hours. Can we go slow around the sun?
No. Damn it. That would extend the length of winter, though.
I'm okay with that.
No, dude, no. Let's slow it down in summer and speed it up in winter.
Well, maybe. Yeah.
Or
it would have to be based on the tilt, right?
Yeah.
So if our tilt wasn't.
Well, first of all, let's even out the tilt so we're always nice temperature here and everyone else gets screwed, first of all. Let's fix that. And then let's work on lengthening the thing. But the problem is you'd still be tired.
Yeah. So what were Final Fantasy 12? That was what we were talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Just letting chat now.
Final Fantasy 12?
Final Fantasy 12.
Why? What were they saying?
Just wondering what game it was.
Final Fantasy 12.
Final Fantasy 12.
We got to say that too. Whenever we talk about a game, you have to say it at the end. I find that in podcasts, they'll be talking about a game, and by the end of what they're talking about, I'll be like, what fucking game are they talking about?
Yeah, Final Fantasy 12.
Final Fantasy 12. There you go.